What are the major differences between karate in Japan and karate overseas?
At that time, that was a new concept for me. So I was like, this is too much. There were a lot of misunderstandings that I felt.
That, is actually the same for many Japanese traditional things. 皆さんこんにちは and welcome to Let's Ask Shogo. So today everyone, I am very excited because in today's video I'm going to be inviting Karate Dojo waKu Yusuke in one of my videos. This video today on my channel. Yes, it's going to be great. I actually sent him an invitation for a collaboration just a few days ago and he immediately gave me a reply saying yes. So we're able to do this. I'm just going to be calling him now. This is actually my first time doing a collaboration video over Zoom. So I'm a little bit nervous, but I'll try my best, yes. So today, Yusuke and I will be talking, of course, about his life, about karate, but also about Budo itself in Japan. Of course, I am a Budo training in Iaido, and of course, he is an instructor in karate, and we're both actually returnees too, so we have a lot in common. So today, I would like to ask him a lot of questions about his life, about karate, and also have like a small discussion about Budo and our points of views as returnees. Japanese people have a little bit, or should I say, unique background compared to other Japanese people. So this is going to be an awesome video. So these are some of the questions that I'm going to be asking. So I hope you can enjoy part 1 and also part 2 as well. And also at the end of part 2, I actually asked Yusuke to show us a demonstration of karate kata at the end of our video today. So I hope you can enjoy it till the end of part 2 so you can watch that as well. In this channel, we'll be interviewing professional Japanese traditional culture or people who are fighting to solve social problems in Japan. So learners and lovers of Japanese language and culture, be sure to subscribe to enjoy more content. Then I guess I'll get started.
Hi!
Then I'd love to welcome Karate Dojo waKu Yusuke. Thank you so much for joining us today.
No, thank you so much for the invite. I was pretty excited to come onto this show for a long time, so thank you for inviting me here today.
This is amazing. I mean, you sent me actually an invitation about 7 months ago, right? Yes. Exactly. It was just the time when Nagi, my second daughter, was born, and I was really sorry I had to actually decline your offer but I was really happy that I was able to this time send an invitation from my side to you to do this collaboration. So then Yusuke, is it okay if I ask for a self-introduction first from you?
Sure. Hi, I'm Yusuke. I run a YouTube channel called Karate Dojo waKu, where I share tutorial videos, entertainment videos, some reaction videos as well, relating to mainly karate, but I guess martial arts in general. Not Iaido, because I don't have any knowledge on weapons, but mainly on martial arts that don't use any weapons. That's what I guess specialize in. And yeah, I make some cultural related videos as well, and that was how I got to find out your channel, and that's how I reached out to you back then, yeah.
Awesome, thanks so much. Alright, so then Yusuke, I actually have a lot of questions prepared for you today. For my first question, I'd love to ask you, what made you decide to start karate instead of other martial arts? Is it related to the fact that you are a returnee?
I would say, is it related? I would say no. And the simple reason is I just like to kick. That's the simple reason.
Very simple.
From my 1年生, so I think like 6 years old, first grade, till the end of middle school, I played soccer. That's all I did. So what you do in soccer? You kick a soccer ball, right? That's everything I knew. I wasn't good at pitching. It was all related to my legs. In my high school, I came back to Japan from the States. And I started looking into other, bukatsu clubs in Japanese high schools. I guess I was in the soccer club for like a week, but then I didn't like the hierarchical structure of the bukatsu. It was on the extreme side within our school. I would say, but although looking at it from now, I don't think it's as extreme, but at that time, that was a new concept for me. So I was like, this is too much. Senpai, Kohai, this is too much. And then my friend just happened to do karate as well. So I just went with him, and yeah, I saw their Kihon basics, where they count and they move in unison. And that was something I've never seen before, because in the soccer field, everybody moves on their own. There's no unison happening. Right. I saw that, and I saw the kicks, and I was like, yeah, why not? Let's give it a try. Yeah.
Awesome. You really got a really strong team, right, on soccer when you were back in the States?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I actually watched your self-introduction video too.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Yeah. You know, I wanted to ask you about if it's related to the fact that you're a Trainee or not. It's because I actually run this channel with my best friend from high school. His name is Kazu, and he's actually also returning too. He was in the US for 4 years and in Thailand for 4 years. Yes.
Okay, wow.
And he and I actually once made a returnee aru video, you know, things that returnees do and experience kind of video. And one of the things that was on the list, that was on the internet actually, was on returnees tend to do traditional things. Like, actually I had the same reason as you. I mean, I started doing Iaido, tea ceremony, no theater, shakuhachi I'm doing right now. But it's nothing because I'm a returnee actually. Yes, it was just because I just love the art, you know? So I was really curious if it's anything related to you. Yes.
Yeah, it didn't really cross my mind that way, so I guess I was just purely interested. Yeah.
What made you want to spread karate overseas? Yes, you have an amazing channel right now.
There was a huge gap between what people knew about karate outside of Japan and what people, or how people perceive karate within Japan. And I would talk to my American friends, and when they talked about martial arts, there were a lot of misunderstandings that I felt. And I thought to myself, well, who in Japan has the ability to spread that message using a platform in 2021 that can gain that much reach? And I was like, maybe I'm the only one. So there's no reason to not try. So
that's right.
I gave it a go. I started with Instagram, started making videos, tutorial videos, and yeah, here I am. I mean, I love karate too, so of course I started doing it. And right after I started, my first motivation was I was the only one that can do it. But then I just started to make videos and getting some reactions from, you know, the audience. I felt that the love towards karate and the passion was quite, well, a little bit higher compared to Japan. People in abroad, like they love karate so much more than the Japanese. I feel like that made me, you know, like that made me want to continue even more.
Are there any other Japanese person who has a channel trying to spread karate culture in English to the world, or
no?
Because I have not found a channel before yet, so yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
nobody. Yeah. There are Japanese karate channels, of course.
Yes, of course. Yes.
And I feel like they're becoming a pretty like a boom in Japan too. But
really,
I've never seen a Japanese person spreading karate in English. Yeah.
I guess it's probably because of the English skills of most Japanese people.
Yeah. I don't want to say it, but I guess so. Yeah.
One last question, especially about you. What is the most important thing that karate has taught you, or from your sensei?
I would say the message was, don't give up until you really know you can't do it. 本当に無理だと思うまでやれよみたいな. So my sensei told me that I think after 6 months or like a year doing karate, I was at a karate tournament. I think for the first time as an actual like athlete, because until then I was like, you know, up in the audience just cheering. But then finally I got my chance to be in a small tournament within the team, karate team. We won the first round, and I got hurt. Like I think I jammed my toes, or I forgot what it was, but I got injured. And then for the second match, I told my sensei that I couldn't continue today because I hurt my toes. And then he looked me in the eyes and he was like, are you really hurt? Like, are you sure it's not something mental? Like,
Yes,
are you really incapable of doing anything? And then, like, I thought to myself, well, I can walk. I can take a few steps. I can move my arms for sure. So there are things that I can do, you know, still. And yeah, that made me, I guess, like open up my limitation to try until you die. That would be an exaggeration, but that mentality I think is pretty important because right now, especially in Japan, you know, the word kahogo, right? Everybody's becoming too sensitive about what others think or what you are, I guess. And being able to break out of your boundaries is becoming harder and harder these days. Yeah, I think that aspect is universal somewhat in Japanese martial arts. Like, you just gotta just do it kind of mentality. Yeah. So I appreciate that a lot. And the fact that he said that to me in my first year, I think that was a huge change for me. Yeah.
I actually trained in Shorinji Kenpo when I was in university. I was taught a really similar lesson from my coach. What he taught me was that when you go outside the dojo, you'll never have occasions where you punch people, kick people, you know, lock people up. But he said that, but there are going to be occasions where life asks you, are you going to do this or are you not going to do this? And I want you guys to be a person that can always choose do it. Yes. So that was like the biggest message he taught me, and I just felt that that's something similar that we experienced.
Right. Yeah, I think that atmosphere within the dojo is a pretty special one too, right? Like being able to go face to face with the sensei and like his message just comes at you. So I think it's a pretty special experience that you can only do. Or not only, but especially doing martial arts, I think.
Completely agree with you. Next up are the 3 questions about karate that I would love to ask you. So the first question is going to be, what are the major differences between karate in Japan and karate overseas? Yes. In terms of skills, in terms of mindsets, in terms of goals or purposes, what have you felt through all your video making and training? Yes.
Let's talk about it from the aspect of goals and styles. Yeah, those 2 aspects. Okay. As for styles, I feel like in Japan, the very popular styles are pretty limited. So I would say Shotokan, which is the one I'm doing. Goju-ryu, which is another style that people saw on the Olympics. Shitoryu, which is another Japanese karate style. And Kyokushin karate. These 4, I think, are the major for regarding the number of people that practices it. However, outside of Japan, I feel like yes, Shotokan and Kyokushin is big, but there are a lot of other small karate styles outside of Japan. So I would say when I first made a video and I said the main 4 styles of karate, I got a lot of reactions saying, where's my style? Because it's pretty popular in my country. Like I got a lot of reactions like that. So there are Okinawan styles that went directly to other countries. Other minor Japanese styles that are pretty popular overseas. There are even styles that developed in another country with the name of karate. So I think that's a pretty big difference regarding style. And connecting it to the goal or the mentality side, I feel like people overseas perceive karate a lot wider than the Japanese. Okay. So if the origin is karate, and when something evolves, it's still karate for them. Okay. However, in Japan, the origin has to stay the origin, I guess. Like the dento is very important. So the change is not perceived as change. It's something. So it's not. I guess it's not understood as evolution. It's more of uragiri toka, jado.
Okay. Yes.
When something changed, there's always history, and within history, changes happen. And I feel like especially in Western countries, a change is understood as evolution. But in Japan, change is rather understood as a negative influence from not core concepts or not core inputs.
Yep.
So that's a huge difference, I feel. And I think that's the reason why there are a lot more styles abroad compared to Japan. So I think that's the main difference between Japanese or karate in Japan and karate in other countries.
That, is actually the same for many Japanese traditional things. Not just karate, but for other Budo, for tea ceremony, no theater, the things that I train in are really the same too, yes. I once made a video talking about Bushido will ruin Japan, and I talked about the Japanese society and its aspects of collectivism. And during the Edo period of 265 years of peace, the Edo shogunate, Tokugawa shogunate, controlled Japan perfectly, with no wars, but keeping everyone in their place. And at those times, they cherished tradition so much in order to keep everyone in their place, trying to not change anything.
Right.
Because when change happens, there'll be new power, new people gaining power and such. And they try to suppress that for more than 2 centuries. And that kind of idea of, as you were saying, not evolution, you're not moving forward. It's more like you have this core tree and there's like these small branches coming out and you're you're trimming them off kind of thing, right?
Right.
Yeah, so
yeah, I guess it's understood as a deviation, right?
Exactly.
A change. Right.
So that's my understanding towards, I guess, how Japanese people really reject those kind of changes, yes. But it's really silly though, don't you think? Because in the past, take for example, tea ceremony. The founder of tea ceremony that we have today is Sennorikyu, of course we know. But Sennorikyu was considered at that time a very crazy person, right? He, created this new concept of tea ceremony that was completely different from what it was in the past. And he was a kakumeika, basically. He created a revolution, right? Yes. And we cherish him so much today, but suddenly today in our traditional culture that we train today, no, you can't change that. No, that's not the right way to do it, So I think it's a little bit weird.
I see. That is true.
I'm sorry.
That's true.
This is an interview asking you questions, but I just completely understand what you mean.
I think this is what it's about, interviewing. So
Yeah.
I would say the founder of Shotokan Karate, Kichin Funakoshi, is a god for Shotokan practitioners all over the world. But at that time, he's an Okinawan person that went to Japan, and from the Okinawan's perspective, a lot of people didn't like Kichin Funakoshi because he went towards the to spread karate, to make something zokuteki, so something that's accessible for the normal audience.
Yes.
But for the Okinawan, the karate was something purely for self-defense or something that they keep it a secret. So I think there was a huge controversy back then. But now we see Kichin Funakoshi, we're like, Sensei. So that's exactly the same, I guess.
I definitely think that things should change as today too.
Right.
All right,
It's a hard balance to have.
Definitely. It's something that everyone training in traditional culture talks about, right? What parts are the parts we need to leave behind? What are the things we need to change? It's a discussion that just goes on forever, I think. Yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
What do you think about the opinion that says Japanese martial arts are useless in practice? Yusuke, you just said everything that I was going to say.
Japan is going to be that way, I think.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
If you ask why, you'll be unfortunate.
It's like questioning me, why do you like Coke? Because I like Coke.
Niju,